Good morning. Let me just go ahead and open this hearing. I'm going to start with an apology. We are going to have votes relatively soon, and so we are going to be interrupted. We're going to get as far as we can through the opening statements, and then we will have to go vote, and then I'll get us back and start us right as soon as we get through the first cycle of votes. Again, so apologies ahead of time, but we're going to have to ask for a little bit of patience today, but we'll get everybody a chance to say what they need to say. I want to go ahead by just starting with an opening statement, and again, welcome to all our panelists today. Yesterday afternoon, the House voted on legislation to strengthen the SBA's small business innovation programs, and in debating that bill, the same two themes kept coming up over and over again: job creation and economic growth. Those are areas in which our country has traditionally excelled, thanks largely to an emphasis on research and development. And today, even as our economy moves towards recovery, we need to be focused on the kind of innovation that can unlock new markets and create new jobs. The Research and Experimentation Tax Credit, commonly known as the R&D tax credit, is a tested means for doing just that. Targeted tax relief is an important tool for encouraging small business growth and also an effective catalyst for innovation. In the past, the R&D tax credit has encouraged countless entrepreneurs to test the waters of innovation. And today we're going to look at that incentive and evaluate its role in strengthening small firms. Any investment in small business R&D goes a long way. That's because entrepreneurs are already more inventive than their larger competitors. Small firms produce 13 times as many patents as big businesses and have a history of pioneering new markets. We can remember the tech boom in the 1990s wasn't a corporate success story as much as a small business revolution, one that saw the rise of lucrative new industries such as online advertising. But we must also remember that innovation isn't just about developing the latest technology, it's about creating jobs. 70% of R&D credit dollars go to high-wage positions for researchers, scientists, and engineers. Because small firms employ nearly 40% of these professionals, it's safe to say that R&D job growth is small business job growth. And with unemployment now hovering at 9.5%, we need every job we can get. Incentives for innovation are an important means for keeping current workers on payroll and putting unemployed Americans back to work. They also make good economic sense. According to one study, every dollar in R&D tax credits yields another $2 in research. Clearly, this credit is doing a great deal of good for our economy. And yet, despite its obvious benefits, there is concern that it is not accomplishing as much as it could for entrepreneurs. That's a real issue because roughly 40% of the businesses that claim this credit are small firms. Perhaps the greatest shortcoming in the R&D credit is its lack of permanence. In the nearly 3 decades since its inception, the incentive has never been cemented. Instead, it's been reauthorized 1 year at a time, often at the last minute, retroactively and after the credit has expired. Now, if that sounds convoluted, it's because it is. And needless to say, these actions have added an element of uncertainty to an already risky R&D process. Making the tax credit permanent could mitigate that risk, giving entrepreneurs the stability they need to plan budgets and attract investment. Meanwhile, a move to unravel some of the credit's complexity could also be a big help. By simplifying the process, we could cut down on paperwork and ease compliance costs. Doing so would likely encourage more small firms to participate in R&D, helping them to develop more new products and create more new jobs. Kitco Fiber Optics, a business based in my district who unfortunately could not make it here today, is just one example of a small business which qualifies for the R&D tax credit, yet does not receive the credit. The president and CEO of Kitco, Jeff Clark, has told me that due to the uncertain nature of the current legislation, his business has not made the initial investment to hire an accountant who specializes in R&D tax credit dealings to go through their accounting books in order to determine what would qualify for this credit. And my hope is that taking action to both simplify and make permanent the R&D tax credit would encourage Kitco and other small businesses to use the incentive to increase their growth and productivity. The strength of our economy has always been driven by the innovation and hard work of our small entrepreneurs. And as we work to create jobs and get our economy moving again, we must once again look to small business to lead the way. By strengthening the R&D tax credit and cutting taxes for small businesses, we can give our most inventive firms the tools they need to innovate and grow. And most importantly, as we face increased competition from abroad, continued investment in R&D will help us retain our standing as home to the world's greatest technological advances. I'd now like to thank today's witnesses in advance for their testimony. I know that we're all looking forward to hearing from them. And with that, I would like to go ahead and recognize our committee's ranking member, Mr. Schock, for any opening statement that he might have. And again, apologies for the fact that we'll have to break to go vote relatively soon, but we'll see how much we can get done before that.